All right. Well, Matthew, thank you for being here. I think I gotta first ask, like, it stands out, right? Your style, your getup, your even the colors on your YouTube, right? So, how, did that come about, or was that did you get that from the start?
It's the inside. Yeah, it comes about because you're not trained to be like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Everything,
Trained to,
the system, they train you to be like they want you to be or something. So you think you have to do that to succeed. And so I was doing all that and punching all the holes I could, and I wasn't succeeding. So I said, "Shit, I'm not succeeding, and I'm not having fun." And I'm trying to sort of succeed at something. Eventually, I'll have fun in 10, 20 years. I said, this is fucking nuts. Why am I living like this? Yeah,
yeah.
not having fun, not succeeding, and then maybe someday in the future succeed and have fun or something. I want to have fun now.
Yeah, that's a good way to have it. I mean,
and, and that's what changed. And it's been, that's probably my late 20s, 30s, digging
wow.
inside of what's inside me, because I was always using people outside to figure out what I should be doing, and that's nuts. I mean, that's important, but that's not the real stuff. And it's taken me, what am I, I'm 80 now, so 50 years to keep taking layers off me that somebody else put on there to find out what's really inside, because that's what you're going to do best, whatever you're born to do. I mean, that sounds like a stupid phrase, but we are. We're all different animals, you know. And this is why we all don't marry the same woman or anything. You know, we all have different taste,
Yeah.
desire, skills, and uh, so the challenge in life is finding what yours are, and and that's important because once you find that, then you could work harder, you can give more, you could love harder because you're giving the best you have. I mean, you're doing something that you're not. It's not really good. I mean, someone's born to hit baseballs, man. They're going to do better than you.
Yeah.
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 And
I,
so to do that.
yeah, I'd agree. I mean, my early 20s was a lot about me asking everybody around me for advice. It's what should I do? I don't know. I'm confused. This job, that job, everything, right? It's just you you go from being a child and getting helped and navigated to, and then you become an adult and you're like, what the hell do I do? I don't even know who I am.
Right.
All these things, and I think I'm in the started the later half of my 20s, but it's been a lot more fruitful already, having gone through that first 5 6 years of
Oh, yeah.
understanding what you're talking about, and that was hard for me. Was to be like, at the end of the day, nobody knows you better than yourself. I mean, you're the only person that can give the best advice for yourself.
Right. No, exactly. But we don't trust it because
Yeah.
nobody knows what they're doing in life. Yeah. So we're all guessing. And what amazes me more is that I see we go to these so-called experts to have somebody else tell me what to do with my life. And I say, what gives them the audacity to think that they could tell me what to do when they don't even know what to do with their own life? We're all
Yeah.
struggling. We're all guessing.
Yeah.
And they have to pretend they really know the answer so they could charge a lot. If they say, fuck, I don't know what to do either, but yeah, maybe here, try this, which is
And
really what they should be doing.
yeah, and that's what interests me too about human psychology, because if let's say you make it free or worth very little too, it'll do the exact same in the opposite direction. People will say, "What? This doesn't seem like it works," right? And if you price it reasonable, I mean, maybe you'll get some sales. And then there's the high end where it's like people are like, "Wow, it's expensive. It must be really good." So I think it's so interesting how human psychology plays into all of it.
Yeah, it's stupid, but we all get sucked into it. Uh,
Yeah.
Marketing is about. That's too bad. And now, see, to me, what the hurtfulness of that is that it's excludes people don't have money. And right now, about 90% of the our people don't have money.
Yeah.
And 10% do. They're living very well. Thank you. And the rest of us are struggling. And that's what keeps me going is realizing that. I have some graphs here that I love data. Well, you're a data guy, right?
Hmm.
So uh, our country keeps growing. So this is last 50 years of GDP. So
Hmm.
that's the money we generate. Okay, it started at 5 trillion back in '80, and now in 2023 it's about 26 trillion. Okay, but the
Oh
problem,
no.
yeah, who's getting it? Okay, here's what's going on: is that so this is the total wages in our country. So from 1980 to 2023. The red line is 90% of us. 90% of us back in 1980 was getting 70% of the wages and the money we generate.
Mm.
And the top 10% was getting 30% of the money. Fast forward to 23.
Wow.
See,
Yeah.
their share of the pie is shrinking, and guess who's growing?
That's concerning. That's very concerning.
Absolutely. I mean, pretty soon it's going to be pitchfork time, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, how
People
long?
only take things for so long, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what bothers me too is where the help is in our society. Now, that's where I just did this today. AI is wonderful. You could be a dumbass like me. And the beautiful charts with all the courses and all this kind of stuff.
That's
Free.
awesome.
So this is our economy. Okay, our GDP in 2023. Okay, all that money, uh, where does it come from? Okay, okay. There's on the big side is capitalism.
Mm.
Okay, so we get about 60% of all the money that's created comes from capitalism, but 40% comes from what I call the community. This is government, nonprofit organizations. Blue is the nonprofit. Uh, so that's where it is. Now, to get help, you have two choices. You go to capitalism or you go to the community. You know, capitalism charges for everything. You could go to
Yeah.
Google
Yeah.
and say, I don't have any money, and you'll get 2 billion websites of people saying, yeah, give me 100 grand, I'll show you how to do it. And you don't have it. So
Yeah.
that's why if you don't have money, you just have to stay out of Google. Google to me is just a swamp of people trying to get your money or scam you out of the money. But our community helps people like that. That's why we have a community. I mean, your neighbor, he doesn't sit and get a lawn chair out when your house is on fire. No, he's probably trying to run inside or help you as much as he can. And he doesn't say, "Oh, give me your credit card first."
Mm.
We help
Asks
each
for a
other,
tip afterwards.
right? Oh, it's on the app, automatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's what community is. And so as a nation, we have a community too. But people hate the community because it's called the government.
Yeah.
So I'm not going there
Yeah.
because they try it and it's not like capitalism. Capitalism will kiss your ass until you give them money. And the community, you have to kiss their ass until you get the money.
Cycle of life.
Right. So it's a little different. I mean, well, and it's not that bad, but it's. I look for funny jokes and everything,
Yeah.
uh, and it's important though to realize that they get paid whether they help you or not. Yeah, and that's the call. And you don't know where things are, and so you'll never find it in Google because you're going to Google trying to find stuff. You're trying to find the community in Google, and you'll never find it. So you don't even waste your time, and you have to start going to places that do that. Can you go online? Yeah, you're an IT guy. You know how to do
Yeah.
this. You say, okay,
Yeah.
pull up a tab and put
I can
in.
actually screen share too. Do you
Oh,
want me
okay,
to try
good. That
that?
would be cool. Yeah. Now I really know.
Cool.
And put in findhelp.org.
You said find help
Yeah, find help HELP
dot
.org
org.
.org. You only want to talk to .org or .gov. They're the people that give away free money. .coms don't. I mean, I'm a .com and I do, but that's rare. Okay, put in your zip code there. Okay, now, there's 2,039 nonprofit organizations and government offices in your zip code that give out free money. Do you ever see this before?
Never.
Yeah. See what I mean? But you'd go to Google, right? Okay,
Yeah.
everything. Now, up in the search bar again on the left, put in like rent. Say you can't pay your rent.
Okay.
What do you have? 22 organizations. Look up on top. Up on top. 22. Did you put in rent? Home renters. No, that's home renters. Just rent. You got to
Just
pay rent.
rent.
Yeah, back up so you don't get a fresh one. Back up
Okay.
again. Oh, you had rent there. Yeah. Okay, just put in rent.
Let's do it.
Okay, that's all. Just that. See what you got here. Only
8.
8? Oh, well, still, that's 8 organizations. So you
Mhm.
mostly be out in the middle of nowhere. Sorry.
I might be not the best example, but
But
hey, it still
yeah,
works.
so you 8 people there that all they do is help people with rent. So the
Mm,
way you use that is that you call each one of them, because these are nonprofit organizations, government offices that help people with rent. They may have money, they may not, but they know of other ways. Hey, wait, you got more than 8 here, right?
yeah,
Where you
it just
going?
keeps going, I guess.
Oh, okay. And so all of those help people to do that. So if they don't have money, they're also in a position to know of other people that may have it or whatever. I mean, these are the only people you want to talk to if you have trouble paying rent. And even if they're not for you, they're still worth talking because they're in the, you know, like you may not know everything about computers, but you know enough instead of asking my 12-year-old. Well, maybe not. But you're in the game and know that, and you see it, read it every day, and do that stuff. So
Mhm.
that's it. So they're in the game of helping people get rent for free. So that's what you don't find in Google. I mean, anything. Look at the tabs up there. All the help that is. It's legal help. Work help, education, care. You're caring for people. You want money.
Yeah.
Click on money and see that. Next one over there. Okay, 611 organizations where you live that give out money.
Wow.
Yeah. See, this is what frustrates me.
Yeah, I mean it's so hidden, right? I mean,
Exactly.
there's so many things on the internet and this type of stuff is just not
Because it's
talked about.
all people making money, so they
Mm,
figure out how to do it.
yeah.
These people, their talent is to give money.
Yeah.
To get customers, you got to figure out that other stuff. But we, as a society, we're paying for all this. So what they don't get, they don't have. When they get money to give away, they don't get advertising expense money to give away, so they can give away money. That just is hard to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give away all this money, but I really need a couple million so I could advertise. I'm giving it away. Who's going to finance that?
Right.
Yeah. So that's what my mission is, and to try to help people, and the amount that goes out every day. Here, this is the budget. Trump is not going to change a lot. He'll nibble around the edges if he can, but the
Yeah.
basic things will all be there. And next year and 2 years, but 10 years from now, it'll probably be a lot different if some of this shit goes through. But in the
Yeah.
short, this all your problems today. Don't worry about it. But they're giving in 25. It's going to be $4.8 trillion, up from $4.4 trillion. That's in the red up there. Uh, and then what that
Wow.
comes down to is last year it was $17,000 per person. And this year it's going to be $18,000 per person that they give out in personal grants. This is just grant money. Yeah,
Wow.
not even service. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so that, uh,
You know,
It
I'd like to even take a step back here
is.
and talk about almost like the root of the issue at times is financial education, right? I mean, the reason
Right.
people get into tough spaces is because we were never kind of either talked about the importance or the understanding of what how money really works.
Sure.
And something that was really interesting to me was understanding that money is a psychology thing. It's a behavior. I kept thinking, I think most people just think in numbers. It's like, okay, this number, but I think it's when you're sad, what do you do? Do you go buy ice cream? Do you, what do you do? Right? It's a
Shopping
behavior
spree.
thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. um, I mean, like if you go to the bars, you're spending hundreds of dollars. So right, so it is a behavior thing. So I'd like to ask you, like, what was your experience like? From your 20s onward with money, and how did that build into this?
I worry about it every day.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, and now I'm very well off, more than I ever thought or would
Yeah.
ever. I
Yeah.
actually, business is so profitable that we just started a couple of years ago. Uh, we give out $70,000 in grants to members. So every month, like today is the deadline for rent grant. We give out $20,000 on the 20th of every month to members who need help paying rent. And we have four grants like that every month. But yeah, but I still worry about it. But in a way, I don't worry about surviving like I used to, but I worry about money and capitalism. To me, it shows you if what you're doing is of value, you know, A-
Yeah.
and that's important. Uh, that we know. And then I see. I watch the sales every day, to see how well I'm doing, how well I'm not doing, or whatever. And that gives me. Then I have to work harder because if the ship is sinking or not. So I have to keep my eyes on the dials and what's going on. I don't need any more stuff. Maybe another suit or two wouldn't hurt.
That'd be funny. Like a piano one with keyboards on the lapels would be kind of cool.
Well, I usually wear, I don't know if you see the images of me, I usually wear hearts or question marks.
Yeah, yeah.
Complete suits like that. Just ordered three more from Vietnam are coming.
Very
For
cool.
Yeah, they're very cheap over there. But yeah, it is. But more, I mean, people are struggling. Half the country can't afford a $500 bill if they came in. And so that's what I'm trying to show them. There are programs to help you like we just said about find help. I mean, there's like probably 250 programs where you live that give out money to do anything. But it's how do we teach people to use this part of the equation? Yeah. Oh, it's upside down. Uh, and we all know how to use Google, but we don't know how to use the community. And the community is a nicer, warming community. They're there to help people, not to make money off people. And supposedly, there's not all corporations are bad, but that's their motive. I mean, they have them. It is mine. I have to be in business. If I'm not, then I get very worried. You can't feed yourself. Uh,
Yeah.
but in our country, it's like it's never enough. It's
Yeah.
empty, and people are hurting drastically every day. Uh, and we don't even have a war going on. Like most of the places in the world, we see these images. You imagine living in those places where your whole town is blown up.
Mhm. Mhm.
And what are you going to do? And there is help out there. See, what bothers me is that, I think we get paranoid because we try some things they don't work. So you start feeling alone in life, and life is crushing in on you, and everything you do doesn't work. So that's why, to me, to get out of that, you have to find more in the community to help you because that's their job. Capitalism is just to make money, but the community is to help you and to feel less alone. And this is why I think suicides are up, loneliness is off the charts, all this stuff, because we're so wrapped up in capitalism
Yeah.
that
What
is not part of the community.
Yeah, when I went to Kenya a few years back and I lived in the desert for some anthropology research, and it really shifted my whole perspective of life in my early 20s. I, for the first time, saw life outside of capitalism, just pure outside of capitalism, right? Because even going to India and stuff, you still see, bartering, trading, money, but just people just truly happy to be alive another day, live
Right.
another day. I mean, it was so profound to me. I was like, how do I get that? Like, I want what they have. Like, they look happy, and then I come back here and I slowly get back to the Dunkin' Donuts and the the lifestyle here, and I tried to push it as long as I could to stay away, like, in that groundedness, but eventually you assimilate back. And
Oh, no.
um yeah, but all is that to say, I think you're right. I think there's so much importance on money, and I don't even know what the alternative would be, because when I talk to people my age, I feel that. I feel that stress and pressure from them, because they say, I need a house if I want to have kids, and housing prices are through the roof, and I don't want to get married until I can be financially stable, and there's
Right.
all those, money talk is most of it.
Yeah. No, I believe it, and I thought the same way. Uh, but to me, it was always what I'm doing is the most important, and not to have an overhead, because once you get an overhead, then you're doing shit for because you have to. But the lower overhead, like out in the desert, there you didn't have an overhead, right? So fuck it,
Yeah,
you just did what you
yeah,
want.
it was so freeing.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the trap that we're all trapped into, living in this country. Uh, but the bad things are important. But see, and it gets worse because you don't know you could go and get free health care. You don't know you could go to this website, which is needymeds.org, and find needymeds.org and find a free clinic, a free or sliding scale clinic for health care or for dental care or for mental health care, anything, or even that's it. So up on top on the left hand side, see healthcare savings. Yeah. And then there, free prescription drugs. There's people even fill out the applications for you. Then down in the middle, see medical clinics, dental clinics down in the no on the left hand side column. Yeah, see all those clinics there. They're state by state, and you'll have a dozen, 2 dozen where you live that you could contact. And the other things are other payments of health care. You need travel to go see a doctor. You need, you're recovering from a operation and you can't pay your bills. And there's search by savings by diagnosis. People or
Mm,
nonprofits who give grants to help you through those things. So, yeah, I mean, to me, at least, if you don't know any about these things, then the anxiety gets worse. You know, you got,
yeah.
you get hit by a car, and whatever, uh, and that's what I'm trying to teach people. Training now too. I mean, it is. Uh, Go to this website, find help dot. No, not find help. Careeronestop.org. 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 Did you get that? No. Got something wrong. Career, CAREERONESTOP.
Hmm. Yeah, it
Nothing.
looks must be the
Can't find.
site.
Oh, it doesn't get it? Dot, got,
Up there
dot
we go.
org. Oh, there it is. Right. Okay. Here, what you do is you put, find local help. See the tab for find local help? Left, left, down, down,
Up,
left.
yep. Local, yep. Find local help and services.
Right. Good. Okay. Click on the. Okay. I would use the one on top in the blue bar on top. You see that? No, left. stay in blue, stay in blue, stay in blue, up, 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 up.
Okay, gotcha,
There
gotcha.
it is. Yeah, there you go. Okay. See, now put in your zip code. Okay, so there it is. Yeah, you do live. uh, but they're the people that know all the
Yeah.
government programs for that. If you
Well,
call and make an appointment,
uh I have to say, I mean, even if we're able to find a few here, then the
exactly.
people listening, they probably have much better odds. So,
Well, the point of the matter is they're there. I mean, so
yeah.
there's not big demand, so they don't have a lot there of people
Mm,
mostly. But you make an appointment. The government is giving more money now for you to get a higher paying job than ever before I've seen in the 50 years doing this.
mhm,
And there's programs now where they'll pay you $40,000 a year to train and get the skills needed uh, for $100,000 a year job. Instead of going to a
wow.
college and paying them $40,000 a year and maybe getting a good job.
Yeah.
They pay you $40,000 a year and
Yeah.
you do get a good job that gets up to $100,000 a year because we need trained people badly. Uh, People are retiring, lower population at your age. And then also, if you go to findhelp.org and put in job training, you'll find 300 people there too
Mhm,
that will train you on anything at any level, part time, full time, and actually give you living expenses too. But every program is different. So you have to check it, where you live, what that is. And the thing that you have to call people. If you're not calling people and asking them about programs, then you're not going to learn what it's about.
mhm.
Just looking at websites and trying to fill out an application is not the story. You would like it to be that easy, but it ain't. So get it out of your and roll up your sleeve and take out your iPhone and
Yeah.
start dialing for dollars. And people want to help people. That's why if you're a digit, it's hard to help you. If you're a real person, it's easier to give you more and help you and show you because these as I say these people that you're talking to, they get same paid the same check no matter what happens. If they help you or not, or they help you for 2 weeks, same thing. You know, and they know more than you and I would ever know, because they're local and they deal with people looking for jobs all the time. So this is what important. And if one doesn't work, then don't say that they know everything. They can't. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you know computers, so I get an answer from you, and you can't.
You know, I that's so interesting to me, right? Because uh, I guess to take a step back, what what made you so interested? Because you said that you worry not about your own finances, but you worry about the people, the state of where we are as a community. Um, but you said you also were worried about, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. You said something about value, um, or 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 essentially like the. Um, would you mind repeating that part? You said
I
like
don't
you
remember
want.
what it is.
Well, what was your one worry again that you said about money? Do you remember?
Oh, well, I worry about money for if I'm not selling something that
Ah,
people don't need it.
right. I
I
was
want
just
to do.
curious.
I don't want to do
Uh-huh.
that I think is great, and everybody else should have it too. I think that's
Uh,
terrible to do.
yeah.
You could
Yeah.
try that, and if it doesn't work, you have to find out what other people. We're here to love other people, not to
Yeah.
make other people live like us. It's
Yeah.
find out what they need and help them, not
Yeah.
you. What a good lover does, is is make the other person happy. That's the joy of loving, is giving, not receiving.
Mm,
So in business, it's the same way. Actually, the same thing. How much can I give? And I could give more if people need it. And so I feel more valuable as a human. That it's needed. You know, Not that I think it's great. That doesn't matter. And it's hard to figure that out. That's why I'm still figuring it out. See, I know this stuff is neat, and I guess you agree to some extent. But trying to get people to use it, I mean, that's a very
really,
interesting game. Yeah.
It's like it's like that idea of you can get a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Yeah, uh,
Exactly.
you know I've studied a lot in like medicine and health and stuff. And first off, I want to say it's so inspiring how vibrant you are at your age. Truly, like I don't not trying to like gas you up or anything. It's really cool to see
Well, you
that
are.
you're still going. Yeah, yeah, I guess I am. But take it or leave it.
I
But
appreciate that. No,
yeah. But health is so important to me, and it's the same thing. It's like you can't get someone to like
right.
lose weight. They got to do at the end of the day as much info as I give you. I could tell you a 50-step plan. You
Yeah,
still got to do it, you
right.
know? And
That's
then finances is the same way. Like you can tell them all the websites or do this,
right.
do that, and but yeah.
No, that's what's working for me now for the first time. I've sold millions of books on this subject over the years, but now I have a community, and we have a community. We have about 12 million people, and thousand. Sorry, not I wouldn't be wasting time talking to you. Right? 12 million. Actually, I should be though. And but it turns out 12,000 people that help each other.
Yeah.
So there's always someone there. Like right now, when I'm talking to you, there's somebody on our platform now that are helping other people live. So they could go on and be on a Zoom call with somebody, and other people listen and answering questions on how you get this money, where is it, and all those questions that everybody has. When I sold books, people got excited. They saw me on the book, they bought the book, and they did nothing. Sort of like diet books, yeah, same thing. You buy the book.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm fat, so I must buy a book, and I'll get lose weight. Yeah,
Yeah, you get that small little dopamine of I did something
right.
because you bought the book. Yeah.
And that's what my book were like. But
Yeah.
now we get so many wonderful messages every day that people
Wow.
that just
Is
because
this from the book or YouTube?
uh, no, well, we have a community,
Oh,
so
okay, you're getting
it's a
it from
website
there.
that
Gotcha.
people go on and they help each other, and all the information is there. And, to answer questions and guide you. So when it doesn't work, you got another place to go and keep going, what to do differently, and uh, get the attention that we all need to keep going. I didn't know that would happen. I just thought, oh, it'd be nice, maybe a good way to keep paying my rent forever would be to have some kind of subscription so I get this.
Yeah.
And then I worried, oh, it's not going to grow anyway. But I worried if it grew because then I have to answer all the questions. But I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Uh, and but then I found out that the people like answering questions. It's all about giving, you know, and that's what my work is all about. Really, is giving. I feel the most selfish thing you could do in life is give because it feels so good. Okay, and that's what I see all my members are feeling that, yeah, I want to help people too. Yeah. And
Hmm.
so it's really contagious, I guess, in a way or something. And
Yeah.
and that's why to give, if somebody allows you to give to them, that's a wonderful gift. When I was younger, like your age, I wouldn't accept gifts from anybody. In-laws want to give us money or something. No, I'm going to do it myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Oh
you're
yeah.
depriving them of that joy of giving. See, and so everybody wants to give. It's trying to find some deserving bastard to give to.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I've
if
I've been there before too. It's
right,
like, no, it's like that all
right,
that testosterone. You're like, I'll do it. Yeah. I've done this all. I could do everything. It's like, and then you get older and older. You're like, I
right.
didn't know shit last year. uh,
But more importantly, you're depriving them of that joy. Say it's not you; it's what you're actually hurting somebody.
yeah,
Not accepting a gift. So even if you throw it away, don't deprive them because it took them a long time to decide to give it to you.
yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
I actually love what you said about the most selfish thing you could do is to give. And
Yes.
it's such a paradox of a statement, but I think it's also very freeing if you think about it. Because the amount of times we see selfishness as like a guilty thing, like be shameful of it, right? Or like you could say it how you're saying it and kind of just lean into it and be like, all right, if we're a little selfish, we might as well be selfish in a positive way, you know?
Oh, you're a smart guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fun, and that's why to me, dressing different uh, helps me think different, so I don't fit in. So I could observe and then see, follow my heart more. If you fit in, then you want to fit in more, with the cool kids or whatever.
Do people like stop and take pictures with you or and stuff in public?
Time, yeah.
Really?
But what's more important, they see me and they don't know my work. I'd rather be
Yeah.
known for my work. But if dressing, which I enjoy doing, uh, it makes someone fun. If I can walk anywhere and have people look at me and just smile. I mean, it's amazing what it does to other people, and they'll just stop me on the street. Oh, that's the first thing that made me smile today. Or "Oh," I mean, I feel an obligation. I can just do what I like doing, and
Yeah.
somebody's improving their life. Man, that's like a obligation. Like, I found a cure for cancer, or for you.
I think it's partially just you almost shake up a person's daily routine and pattern,
Right.
and they go, "Whoa, this guy is living life how he wants," right? And I think it's that, and they really appreciate that. They stop for a second, like, "Huh, I can appreciate that,"
Uh,
and maybe it makes them want to do more what feels true
yeah.
to them. Yeah,
But I mean, to me, right? This is very selfish to me, uh, because we all have to grow. I feel we're all different, and we have to grow differently because we are different. We don't know what we're special at, and that's a hard thing to find. Like my specialty, I think, is getting thrown out of class for making jokes. Flunking out of school
you're
because
like,
of that.
look at me now.
Right, exactly. I made $1 million making a fool of myself
Yeah,
out of school.
yeah,
Uh, and that's it. But what's weird about you is probably a clue on what your superpower is.
Hmm.
Because no, whatever's weird about you, man, you do that better than anybody else.
So true.
And that's it. You got to find a way to make money with that weird shit.
I feel like that should be the book titles instead of Find Your Purpose is like
Yeah,
find how to make money being weird. Doing
exactly.
weird shit, yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
and
yeah,
it's fun, and that makes life fun. I mean, I to me, I'm going to throw my own party every day. Nobody's going to throw a party for me. But
yeah,
I'm going to throw one for me.
yeah. And honestly, going a little bit full circle here, I think part of your vibrancy has to do with the fact of how you're thinking and
Oh,
what we just talked about, right? Like you're saying you're just living life for you or
uh,
dressing how you want. And I think happiness, I think this being happy from simple things is probably, I mean, you could attest to it more than
yeah.
me, but like it seems to be what's, keeping you going so vibrant and strong.
Well, what I always felt after I was trying to do something, like being a New York Times bestseller award, that's like being on Mars, and that's what did I do when that happened? I called all my friends and bragged. That took about an hour and a half.
You're like, now what?
Now I have to go back to work. So really, it's what
Yeah.
you're doing every day that is important. Not
Mm.
trying to some goal. And I also see, at least in my mind, I'm operated with if I have a goal and I want to reach that goal, I'll start cutting the corners on legality or ethics.
Start bending some rules.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, nobody noticed that. I'm
Yeah.
doing it too. I could do it too.
Yeah.
And because you're just after the goal.
Yeah.
That's what I hate about sports. One for the Gipper. Uh, yeah, and I have a one boy who very athletic man, very competitive.
Hmm.
But in third grade, he's just sort of like a kid on the soccer team and making all the scores and his points and used to embarrass me. He's a smart kid. He hung around the goal.
Uh,
Why go in the middle field? There's no goal there.
yeah, yeah.
And then he had like a this is third grade level, but he had a chance. He missed a goal, and it was for like the winning goal for the whatever it was, and the referee called a foul on the goalie that he
Mhm.
did something. So my son got a free kick against the goalie. I said, he's got to make fucking. This kid could in pressure. You bet on him every time,
Uh-huh.
and he missed it. And I pulled him aside a couple of hours later, and I said, "What happened?" I mean, I was so surprised. And I said, "Why did it go?" He said, "The referee was wrong." Holy fuck! That's better than I'll ever be.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. In 3rd grade too.
Wow. And that's what our society. You could do anything as long as it's legal, right?
Mm.
Not if it's moral. Fuck that.
Moral doesn't make money for them, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think things are slowly changing. People are not only becoming more aware, there's also people raising awareness, like either what you're doing or health side. I mean, I think I'm seeing it in all directions. Very slow, but I'm seeing it, and I think there is hope.
Yeah, no, I think we'll turn. I mean, I remember there's a famous saying from Winston Churchill. He said, "American will do what's right when everything else fails."
Yeah.
And that's
uh,
about most of us operate that way.
yeah, yeah. Also, I think as humans, we're also just, at
Right,
least most of us, inherently lazy too until something has to be done.
right.
And
Oh, yeah.
we're like, "Ah, I think we should fix this."
I know my laziness. It was funny. I remember in college, I hated writing papers or anything or studying for a test. And I'd sit in my apartment think, oh, God, oh, the oven needs cleaning. Yeah, I should do that.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, things you haven't touched in, like, 10 years, you're like, "Wait,
Right.
that needs to be cleaned today." Uh, I mean, you I think we dodged a bullet because with ChatGPT and stuff now, like, the kids aren't even writing papers, they're just making a sentence that says, "Write the paper."
Well, I just this morning I'm against rich people getting government grants. They don't need it.
Yeah.
This grant, did I show you this? It's a grant from last year that
No.
Biden put out. It's for people that cut down their utility bills. $8 billion going out last year.
Wow.
65% of that went to the richest people in America, the top 25%,
Damn.
and only 1% went into the bottom 25%. So what I did is went to ChatGPT just now and I said, give me 150 programs where you could have income over $100,000 and get a grant. Here they are.
Oh, wow.
250. And I could get
Yeah.
them. Yeah, why are we giving money to all these people? And that's why you see now with Trump, all these billionaires following him around because they know it's easier to get $1 billion from the government than to
Yeah.
actually invent something that's of value to the rest of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot more loopholes you can bend when you work with
Exactly.
the government versus banks
All right. Oh,
charging you like 30% interest nowadays.
really?
That's
Wow.
criminal, 30%.
Yeah. Wow.
Um, but Matthew, I want to ask one last closing question.
Uh-huh.
This show is called Learn or Be Learned. So, what is a life lesson that you want to leave with the audience as like a whole take home message?
Never watch this podcast
All right,
again.
like start over again. I'm gonna cut this part out.
I mean, my favorite phrase now is that your heart is smarter than your brain.
Hmm,
Yeah, you got to lead with your heart, and that's going to tell you. I mean, you need the brain to make sure you're not going off the cliff or do some real stupid stuff, but follow your heart and don't. If you love somebody, and you should, as many people as possible, don't tell them how to live their life, help them do what they want to do in their life.
Mm,
So a good lover helps somebody else do what they want to do, not what you want them to do. Yeah.
wow. That's so true though, right? And I think many of us have or either experienced or fallen into the trap of you care about someone, so you
Yeah.
think you know what you're doing to help
Oh,
them,
definitely. That's
right?
hard.
It's like this worked for me, you do this, like
Yeah, you're
it's
yeah.
yeah.
That's
And
not
I get it. It comes from a place of love. It's like, hey, I found benefit. I want you to find benefit, but I mean, the human life is so intricate. There's like millions and millions of variables. Like
yeah.
even being related, there's still so many differences. Right. So it's like, how can we just say this one thing works for all of us?
Right. No, I mean, I put it another way. What gives us the audacity to
Yeah.
think that we could tell somebody else what to do with their life when every day of our life we're trying to figure out what to do
Yeah. Yeah.
and haven't figured that out yet?
Yeah. I think we all chase this idea of certainty, but
Yeah,
maybe the most certain thing is that there is no certainty.
absolutely. You got
Yeah.
but when I got an MBA and I was starting businesses, they're all fucked up all the time. Why? I mean, I taught in school how to run things perfectly. Nothing's
Yeah.
perfect. Why they teach me that? They should teach me how to run things that are all screwed up because that's what
Yeah.
every day is. Yeah,
Yeah.
the skill
Absolutely.
you need, not the skill for perfect.
Yeah.
That takes
Yeah.
no skill. It runs by itself.
Um, but Matthew, thank you so much for
You
being
bet.
on the show, and I'm excited to push this because I think people really do need help right now, and I think you're doing a great job out of that.
Nice of you to say. That's another little thing that will get me up earlier tomorrow and work harder.
Absolutely.
Actually, I don't work. I haven't worked in 50 years. That's true. I have to do it.
Are you really working if you love what you do, though?
That's what I mean. It's not
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Okay. Cheers.